There we go. Now we can see what's going on. How's it going, folks? Happy Sunday to you. We're going to run some trains today. I'm a little rusty with Run 8. Kind of trying to get back in the groove here. But we're down here at, I believe it's Trinity Petroleum? No, Tricor Refining Company. I was close. Tricor Refining Company. We've got a bunch of loaded tank cars we need to get assembled and over to Bakersfield Yard. So that's what we're going to be working on. I've got cables all over my desk here. Using a RailDriver, so I've got cables for that strung everywhere. So I think they've got this power. Was this just for switching? I'm using the industry config from the depot. So I think we can snag some of these. We try 2. I don't know if 2 would be enough. These are loaded. They've got a buffer car there, but I don't know what's up with the... On this new computer, when I scroll, it like skips. I don't know what's up with that. It's really annoying though. I have to scroll really, I have to pan really slowly. So we've already got a buffer car there. I want the engines to be on that end of the train once we get this all said and done with. So I think I'm going to grab these 2 engines here. Will that work? Maybe. Just maybe. So let's get this set up. We should own that now. I gotta get down here on the ground. Oh, that's such a pain in the butt how it moves the view so strangely. I don't know if this computer's too fast for Run 8 or what. Do I have control of some other train? Relinquish my train. Yeah, I think I had some other train. There we go. So let's get this closed up. Now we should be able to take these 2. I'm not sure how the audio level is going to be. If it's way too loud, let me know, because it is a pretty loud game, especially when we get these prime movers fired up. Let's see. I want this to be... I remember how to MU all this stuff. Actually, I probably need to retag this so the switch list will work correctly. So I've got the bar report over here. We are LS913J. I think. With turning fast. Hey, Dave. Howdy, howdy. All right, let's hop in the cab. Holy cow. Don't know if there is. Here we are. Train roll volume. Let's turn these down. We'll try that. Should be in start. New furniture is great. We ate dinner out on the patio last night. It was about 60 degrees, so I was nice and comfy. Wife had a jacket on. So let's get this puppy fired up. This one you can't start from the train, so we have to hop back outside. It's such a pain. God, I need to do some research and see. Like if I just move the mouse, it skips all over the place. I have to move it super slow. This might be really loud. Because it's a train, and they're loud. It won't be as loud when we get in the cab. Plenty of fuel. Woo! And what's cool is the RailDriver controller I've got has a little subwoofer built into it. So I can feel that engine pulsing on my desk. It's awesome. I think now we have those two engines separated, so I'm going to pull forward a bit. And we'll go from there. Get the tags all off there. Headlight on. Does the switch work? Beacon switch doesn't work. Let's see, is that parking brake off? There we go. So we should be able to move. Alright, in theory we have those two engines. So let's go check that. Headphone warning, we're getting out of the cab. Dad nabbit, quit turning goofy. Alright, we should be good. Let's make sure that engine's responding. No, it's not. We gotta get the MU set up properly. How do I do that? I forget. go. Is it up on the couplers? Holy cow, this train is loud. There we go. We gotta connect the MU. Dang it. It's so hard to move because I just turned the mouse and it flips all over the place. Stab it! And so when I throttle up, there we go. Now both of them are responding to throttle inputs. The trailing light on, and let's go hop back in the cab. There we go. We'll let the ear bleeding taper off a little bit. I'm not sure this is doing anything. Train roll volume.
Hey Brian, you out there?
So I might just have to turn it down in OBS. Or through Windows. The little radio stuff you hear, that's just random chatter. It's part of the game. Let me try that down about half. Yeah, we'll go with that. See if that's a little better. So now I need to plan out my views. I know we need to get off of this siding, so we can do that. So we've got probably 4 or so different cuts of cars to pick up here. Actually set this up backwards. This needs to be the trail unit. So we'll get out on the main lead here. We'll get that fixed up. So when we head out of here, we're going to be heading backwards from the perspective we are right now. Gotta get used to which buttons are which. Dad nabbit, this is gonna drive me nuts. If I move the mouse, it just randomly changes your direction by like 60 degrees. Really freaking annoying. Oh, here, we'll play conductor. Get him out on the main. No, stop it! Ah! Why is the track flickering? Because this is a really, really, really old game engine, and it has some Z fighting issues. I think this is the same engine that like FSX, the flight simulator, was made on. If I'd coasted another foot, that would have been perfect. There we go. All right, should we... I have to figure out what we need to do here. One thing I know I need to do is I need to switch around the MU directions here. I'm trying to remember how to do that. There we go. TPU lead, TPU forward. Short head lead. And then you are a slave. Short head trail. So now when we hop in the cab, we're facing the wrong way. All right, sweet. I almost did that right. Stop flipping directions. Set as lead unit. There we go. That's the part I missed. I'm a little rusty. Cool. Now we have the correct unit as lead. So let's go figure out where we're doing. Free fly. Whee! So we do have some cars down there we need to grab. But the majority here is at Tricor. So that could probably be the end of the train. Do we have another cut with a buffer car? Yeah, there's a cut with a buffer car. So that'll be the front. These will be in the middle, and then that other cut will be the end. But we need to grab the ones down there. Yeah. Okay. Man, is there anybody out there that plays Run 8 and knows why it randomly moves your view around? That is, it never did that on my old computer. Hey, what's up, Heli Pilot? Watching some Scum stuff? Yeah, Scum's been a lot of fun. And Monday's episode, tomorrow's episode, is a lot of fun. Yeah, it's good times. I take an arsenal up to the big city, and things get a little crazy. What are we hauling today, DC Dave? We're picking up a bunch of loaded tank cars here at Tricor and assembling a train to head over to Bakersfield Yard. So these are loaded tank cars ready to be shipped out. So I'm just kind of planning out my moves right now. I think I want to grab this cut and shove it up. It might fit on that siding there. We don't want to block that highway if we can help it. So we... This is going to make me uninstall Run 8. I have to move the view very slowly or it flips out. And I have a feeling it's because my new computer is too fast. Like I said, this is a really old engine. And if you're not familiar with Run 8, get back on the ground here. The graphics are crap. They don't concentrate on graphics. But the physics and all the systems and everything is just top notch. There's nothing else like it. It's truly a railroad simulator. Nabbit, stab it! The view just randomly switches around. We need this guy. This is a switch inside of a switch. That's a little tricky. That guy switched. Okay, now we should be able to pull up to that cut. Oh, come on. Okay, deep breath. We're not going to flip any tables. Sunday. It's Lord's Day. We're not going to get violent, but it's going to try my patience. So we need to pull up in there. So we'll just play conductor down here. Last playing some Microsoft Flight Simulator. Nice. Gotta remember I'm running light. Doesn't take long to get up to 15, which is the track limit here, I think. Do. Yep, 15. So if I turn... See, I'm getting 140 FPS. Woohoo! I'll turn that on. I can keep an eye on my brake pipes and stuff when I'm playing conductor. Yeah, it's pretty rare to be too good, but like I said, this is a really old engine. I think it's the same, or maybe even older than the FSX. If you're an FSX user, you'll recognize that red text at the top. Slow down a bit, because I'm actually going to hop on the train here as it comes past. I'm going to try to. If I can get my view to... Dadnabbit! There we go. So just ignore the graphics. Everything else is excellent. Everything is pretty much simulated. No, stop! Stop it! Okay, I can't see anything. I gotta put the brakes on. That is so annoying. I have to move it just a little tiny bit and then it doesn't freak out. I didn't avoid it, no. In the 90s, I was only playing flight sims. Let me know if it's still too loud. I mean, trains are loud, so it's going to be really loud when we're out here next to it. Okay, slowly move the view. Slowly. Okay, deep breaths. It's just a 2D side-scroll view of the train. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't really sure on the history of these guys. It's just kind of a group of independent dudes that made a train game. They made Run 8, and then this is Run 8 version 2. So we need to come all the way down here to... Whoa, stab it. Here, just make sure this ankle cock is closed. And it's not, it's open, so... Close that so we can actually pump this cut full of air. Stop it! Okay, I'm usually a pretty patient guy, but... I might have picked the wrong game to stream. Any Run 8 veterans out there know why it flips the view around randomly? Oh yeah, that's cool, Vorden. I mean, it could be. It's from my perspective, it's a really, really good simulation. What's up, Fred? I don't know what's going on with the view, but if I move it very much at all, it just flips out. Alright, so we got a good couple there, that's good. This angle cock is open. Oh, the handbrakes are applied, that's good to know. So we need to just partially open this, if I open up this, it'll rush all the air out of the engine and it'll actually trip the emergency system. So we got to keep an eye on our flow meter here. This is cubic feet per minute of air. So I want that to come way down before we open it the rest of the way up. Grabbing an input from the joystick or pedals. I may have my yoke turned in. That's a decent suggestion. Can't remember what the flow is supposed to get down to before you can fully open it. Is it below 100? Try it. Hopefully we didn't just break something. Yeah, it's a good thought. Let me go around behind the desk and I'll unplug my yoke. Alright. I think I unplugged the yoke. Yep. Yeah, same here, Vorden. I hadn't thought about that though, because I didn't think it used anything, but no, that wasn't it. Good suggestion, but that wasn't it. I literally think that it's an old engine and this i9 is just too fast for it. That's my theory. Alright, I think there's a key to release all the handbrakes, but I don't remember what it is. Are all the handbrakes set on all these cars? It's a little hard sometimes to get the car selected you want. Oh boy. Crap. Pretty sure there's a key for this, but I don't remember what it is. And the stuff here is a little less than helpful. I don't see anything under handbrake. Yeah, finding anything in there is impossible. Well, I guess we'll run down the train and be releasing handbrakes. Anybody knows the magic key combo for that? Please speak up. Still pumping air in here. Release. Actually, put those up to notch 4. I think this loco has a mechanical air pump. So we'll get some revs going on the engine. Finally, last car. Alright, so now we're going to push this. We're going to pull this out and push it up. I think it'll fit in that siding up there, but we'll work on the other side of this road. So, oh crap. So we don't block the road. Game, settle down. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop on this car here. Unit boarded, maintain 3-point contact at all times. Remember safety first. And then we're going to back on out here. How's our flow? Our flows get down pretty good, so. See if we can drag these. There we go. Should be clear all the way behind the train. Plenty of room. So we still got 24 on the flow, but I think I don't hear anything squeaking too bad, so the brakes are all pretty much released. I love how it like runs out the slack and stuff when you're applying different pressures to the train. My timing is off because I'm kind of rusty. With air brakes, there's always lag. It has to reduce the air pressure up through the whole train. Yeah, and I did that wrong. I braked way too early. You need to be back behind this switch. Game. All right, train's coming ahead. Need to go around here. That switch is good. Should have went to fly mode. We'll get some cardio in. Be good up to this street here. Woo! It's a coming. I can see it back there. I don't know how well it translates to Twitch. Alright, thanks, Fred. I thought there was a release the handbrakes key, but maybe not. Yeah, that's the parking brake. Maybe releasing parking brake unsets the handbrakes. I'll try that. Is that F5 and like Control F5 is the handbrake on the loco. Parking brake. Whoa! it's an exercise in patience. It's just patience training, that's ill. Alright, so we want to close that. We'll keep the air in that section of the train. Close that one up, and then open that. And we should be able to pull away. And let's hop back on the engine here. These motorists are not going to be my biggest fans. It even does it when you're in the cab. Trying to look around. Oh, I'm speeding. No! Must be a slight downgrade here, because we were cooking along. Don't tell the police. No, there's not a third-person view. You have various outside views I've been using, like the ground view and free fly. Anytime I move the mouse in a view, it does that. Alright, let's hop off on the ground here. And it never did that on my old computer, so I think it's just my new computer doesn't like it. Okay, which lead do we need to head down? Let's go back to aerial view. Neither one of those, it doesn't matter which one of those we grab. So we'll probably grab both of them, and then how much room do we got? We got a lot of room on the, oh no, there's another street down there. We might have to break up the train. We'll see. Too much power! That's my theory. I don't know if that's it. Because back when this engine was created, I mean, an i9 9900K was not really in the cards. Wow! So it may have like some hard-coded timing loops or something in it. That's my thought anyway. Let's grab that one. So we need to come down. I have to move in like little bitty increments. Let's get back on the ground here. Boink. I think we need that one? It's so confusing because there's a switch inside of a switch here. Yeah, so we want that one to be straight. And then I actually need to back up a little more. Get on this one. Stop it! Yeah, that's a good thought too, Chris. Yeah, I think I can just save and come back in. Let me try that. That's a good thought. Let me try that. Because this is super annoying. Save. Save. Let's try that. Go find it. Under properties? Yeah, compatibility. Run this program in compatibility mode for Windows 95. No, I don't have that option. Try Windows 7. That's what my old computer ran and it worked fine. Disable full screen. Change high DPI settings. Use this setting to fix scaling problems for this program instead of one in settings. Program might look blurry if the DPI... Oh, okay, so that's like text stuff. That's for text DPI, not mouse DPI. All right, we'll try running it in compatibility mode. Is it a year or two old? Well, no. The made of 1.8 version 2. I don't remember if it came out like 3-4 years ago, but the engine it's made on is ancient. Drum roll. Don't worry, it's loading the trains. There's 190 trains. So any little like section of cars is called a train. There we go. All trains loaded. Here we go. It's pitch number 2 right over the plate for helipilot. No! No! Strike 2. It was a good idea though. It was a solid idea. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to live with it until I can come up with a solution. I thought it would leave these running. I guess it doesn't. Okay. We'll just auto start all. Yeah, that's when the game came out, but the engine is probably from like 1997 or older. Attach point. Doink! There we go. We're gonna ride on the train. We're gonna, in theory, hook up to those cars. It looks like we're lined up right. Uh-oh. Always release the parking brake. And I'm gonna try hitting the release parking brake key when we're coupled up. Because I do seem to remember that does release the handbrakes. So I'm hoping that's the case. Oops. Newbie at the controls. There we go. Change the mouse DPI. I don't know. I've never changed the mouse DPI. Let me get the air pumping into this and I'll take a look. Hey, what's up, Kisk? Whoa! Only you can prevent wildfires. Thanks, Smokey. Smokey's always looking out for us. Alright, we need to close you. And yeah, the handbrake is applied. So we'll try, I think it's this key. All right, so if we release the parking brake on the Loco, it undoes all the hand wheels. Cool. I knew there was a way to do it, and I couldn't remember what it was. Just got home and having some lunch. Very cool. My stomach thinks it's lunchtime, but it's time to stream right now. All the way back down here. Come on. Little sliver of moon. Stop it. Okay, you are open, and you are partially open. Keep an eye on the flow meter here. Uses from the original Microsoft Train Simulator. Oh, interesting. So that must be the same engine they use for FSX then. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a Razor Death Adder. I don't know if it has any of that. I've never used the DPI. Flows below 100, so I think we can open this all the way up. And then let's hop in the engineer view so it's a little quieter. Let me check the... I've got the Razor thingy on here. The only thing I use this for is some of the buttons. Performance? The number of dots per inch of mouse movement. Enable XY sensitivity. Is this the DPI? What if I turn that off? Does that make any difference? Oh, that makes it just one slider. Oh my goodness. I can't hardly move my mouse. Let's see if that makes any difference though. No, if I still move it, it still wigs out. Engineer view. There we go. That was another good solid thought.
Hey Brian, you out there?
You guys still looking for Brian? Configure sensitivity stages. Number of stages. So there probably is a way to change this, and I just don't use it. Yeah. Oh, this should be on. I don't know why that got turned off. Because I have the Goliath. Adjustment will take effect only after reboot. Yeah, not with the Razor software. It's instant. All right, so that's back to normal. That's still wacky. Oh well. We're still pumping air into there. Let's see, we're in neutral. Let's bump this up to the notch 4. I think this has a mechanical air pump. So we'll let it pump air. In theory, faster. Yep, back to normal. It is what it is. I'll do some Googling and stuff later on to see if I can get that solved. It's super annoying, but I just have to move the view in little increments. So when you see me doing this, so the view doesn't wig out and go completely crazy on us. Alright, our flow's down to like, I think that's 40. Yeah, 40. We could probably move this cut now. Oh, feel that prime mover rumble in your chest. I can feel it because it's shaking my whole desk. I use a RailDriver controller. If you weren't here earlier, I'm using the RailDriver. It's a controller with all the nice train controls on it, and it's got a little subwoofer in it. So it picks up that bass from the engine and makes my whole desk shake. Love it. It seems to be related to speed, Fred, but I don't know. I'm going to hop on the end here. We're going to pull this cut out. We'll hook onto the other cut. But see there, even I just barely moved it and it did it, so I don't know. Attach point. There we go. Alright, let's get on out of here. The engine throttle back down. We can release the loco brakes. And we're going to come up and grab this other cut of cars. Yeah, everything's good, Fred. Thanks. Hope you're well. Everybody's healthy. I don't think anybody's having even as much of as a sniffle since the whole pandemic thing. We haven't really been anywhere to pick up germs. A little late on the brake application. I'm still getting used to timing. There's quite a delay as the air travels, you know, the air pressure change travels through the train and starts applying the brakes. Now's not the time to be flipping out on me, computer. Slow down, I'm going to run smack into it. Need to flip this one. There we go. No, no! I need to see my train! Okay, we're going to try to hop on the ladder here as it goes by. Perfect. Nailed it. Slack's got to run out. Do. All right. There we go. We released the handbrakes. Saw the train move. These cars should have no air in them, so their brakes should be all set as far as the air brakes go. So we're going to run down here, close it off. Nope, come here. Close that ankle cock, and then back down to where we coupled up, which I forgot to take note of where that was, but we'll be able to find it. Should be about here. It's either here or the next one. Yep, it's this one. All right, partially open. Keep an eye on the airflow there. You'd think when it was randomly flip the view, it would flip it in the right direction occasionally, but no, it's always the opposite direction. Waiting for that flow to get down below 100. Should be able to open that the rest of the way up. There we go. Should be able to go ahead and drag this cut out. I should have enough. Yeah, I should have enough lead back there. Famous last words. Rotation math. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Like there's some kind of hard-coded timing loop and it like overflows or something. It goes negative. Now we play, when do we apply the brakes? Gimbal lock, Euler transformations, quaternions, all that fun stuff. Never brake, full speed ahead. Alright, we're going for brake application. Train is slowing. Yeah. Can we make it? Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Nailed it! About 4 inches to spare there. We're all good. Okay, now we need to push this forward. And... actually, let's go look. Let me get to free fly here. We've got this other cut down at this other petroleum plant. Yeah, we have to pull it out and then run around it. Oh, he does. He's engineer, conductor, something like that. Cool. I don't have any IRL train experience. Just been a fan. All right, so we have this cut out. We still have this one that goes on the end in that siding. So maybe we should pull this out, tack it on here, and then shove. That probably would make more sense. Let's do that. Even with the ear protection? Ah, that sucks, dude. I made the mistake for a lot of years of using power tools with no ear protection. Game. It's not funny. Wasn't fast enough. Or wasn't close enough. Oh well. So we need to come into this guy, right? To the left? Or to the right? I knew what it meant. Quickly now. There we go. Safety first. Contact. Alright, you know the routine by now. You gotta run down to the end of the terrain. Shut off the ankle cock. Pump some air in there to release the brakes. Pull it out, tack it onto this one. And then we're gonna pull that buffer car off, do a little run around move, grab that other little cut of cars from the other industry, and then tack those onto the end, and then I gotta figure out how to get around the train. Oops. I didn't think that through. I might have to, we'll probably have to end up breaking up the train to get around it. Little pro tip, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just playing with trains. Game, you need to stop it. It always points me backwards. Alright, you are open. You're neutral. Let's get some air pumping. Shove some toilet tissue in your ears. It's better than nothing, I'm sure. Alright, well that's pumping air. Let's hop back in the air here and take a look. So we need to grab that little cut down there. We can use those tracks to run around it. So we've got a little bit of a run around there, a little bit of a run around here. Didn't really think this through. Yeah, I could have done this a lot smarter, but I didn't. Might ended up just shoving it to Bakersfield. I've got some car packs boarded, and I don't remember if I bought any routes. I think it's just the base routes. But I did buy probably 5 or 6 car and locomotive packs. Gives you skins, basically. Yeah, I didn't do this very good. Yeah, we'll probably just end up shoving it to Bakersfield because I didn't plan well enough. There'd be a lot of runaround moves required to have this on the head end. So I'm going to get this pumped. I think what it will do is pull just the buffer car down. We'll stick it on that siding. Then I can grab that cut, stick it on the buffer car, run around, push it up, and then we'll assemble these 3 cuts we've got here, and then we'll just shove it to Bakersfield. I think that'll work. Forgot to release the handbrake. That's why it was squawking. Alright, back in the cab. Can't see, we're going backwards. I just assumed those were all lined or straight. Maybe I better go check. Yeah, that one is. Faster than a speeding train. Or no, it's faster than a speeding bullet. We'll use this little passing siding here. There should be enough room to run around that little cut. So how great would it be to have this game and all its simulation glory, except with Train Sim World graphics? Stupid dovetail. Yeah, I don't know, Fred. I don't know if that would do any good. I'll do some Googling. There's a website called The Depot that's got some forums full of awesome people that are super familiar with everything Run 8. So I'll probably just ask on there. Let's see, that would be reverse. Right, whoa! No, which direction are we running? No, come back! Come back, train! I was gonna hustle down here and throw the switch. Yeah, the multiplayer is great, Warden. There's some good videos on YouTube showing off multiplayer. I can't remember the channel names, but It has really good multiplayer. The thing to keep in mind, though, this is a simulator sandbox. Like, you have to make up your own stuff. It doesn't come with, like, a bunch of scenarios, and it doesn't have missions, you know. You do your own thing. It's up to you. So what I did is, there's a world called Busy Barstow, and it has a bunch of, like, trains just sitting around and stuff like that. And I'm just using that. So I went and found something to do. I saw that there were tank cars down here ready to go. But if you want, you can just start with a completely blank world. And then, oh, speaking of worlds, I forgot to get all the AI trains going. So the other thing you can do is play dispatcher. So let's get some of these. All these trains are setting in sidings. This is the way the Busy Barstow scenario starts. Just a big world with a bunch of AI trains in it. So we should get this guy going. He'll be coming by. I don't know if we'll see him or not. He's up the ways, up the road a piece. But let's get him sent through. Get this guy started. Who else we got? You waiting to go this way? Let's assume that's the case. Alright, so he's rolling. He should be rolling soon. So he'll come down here and then he'll stop because this switch is reversed. So this will actually be red. It's set to green, but this doesn't set the signal directly. It sets like the condition, if that makes sense. So since this switch is thrown, this will actually be red. So he'll come down here and stop. Is this guy gonna move? He should come out here and he'll go up this side. And we'll send him on out. He actually rolling? He's just sitting there. Do. You has the signal, dude. Nerd. Hey, what's up, Clutch? I'm good, man. Thanks. Hope you're well. Not sure why he's not moving. Everybody should be released. Why you no move? Catch you later, Vorden. Thanks for dropping in. This is Run 8 version 2. Railroad Simulator. Wifey says Walmart is on its way. Got some groceries coming, so I'll have to run up in a little bit and get those in the house. The heck? The subwoofer's flipping out. Oh, it's my cell phone. Yeah, I don't know why he's not. I don't know why he's not going. He's not happy for some reason. Is he wanting to go the other way? Maybe he's actually trying to go this way. There we go. He's trying to go the other way. These are probably actually facing the opposite direction than I thought. Yeah, Clutch. It's like the railroad simulator. The graphics are super dated. They don't really concentrate on graphics, but the physics, the systems, just everything is top notch. It's a very niche thing because it's so like really good railroad simulator. It doesn't hold your hand with like missions or anything like that. It's just a straight up railroad simulator. All right, so he's on his way. Let's get back over to our train. Boink. You gonna load some scenery in? Hello? Hello? I think I confused it. Let's see, we're here somewhere. Whoa! Yeah, it definitely doesn't concentrate on graphics. Sometimes it doesn't even load in the scenery. I think I confused it. We are, we're over here. We're just tuning in. We're over here at Tricor, picking up, we're assembling a train of full tanker cars to send over to Bakersfield Yard. So I'm down here. There we go. We're back! Get that aligned. We should be able to come up to that switch, and then we're good. So let's hop in the cab. Yeah, Train Sim is good for just, you know, a train game, for sure. I had high hopes for Train Sim World, but was greatly disappointed like most people. I will never buy another Dovetail thing again. They were promising all this simulation. It turned out to be a total piece of garbage. Bunch of lipstick on a pig. Then they never delivered what they promised with like the editor and stuff like that. Then they made Train Sim World 2, sold that too. Yeah, we promised this time we're gonna make an editor. Nope. But they got me once. That was enough for me. Bunch of money grubbing bastards. Yeah, it's the same, exactly. But I mean, people buy it, so as long as people buy it, they're gonna keep pushing that crap out. Alright, we're gonna hop out on the ground here. So I'm just playing on my own, but if you really want to get into, you know, railroading, there's a lot of different communities out there you can become a part of, and they run servers, and they'll have dispatchers on duty, and you have to follow all the rules and stuff like that. But I'm just doing my own thing. Why isn't my headlight on? Could be able to see anything from in here. I sort of can. Yeah, that's actually thrown. Hey, my groceries are here. I'll be right back, folks. I need to bring some groceries in and throw them in the fridge. Holy crap, I didn't realize she bought half the store. Sorry about that. Woo! I run up down the stairs. Yeah, there was 2 huge laundry baskets full of Walmart bags. Most of it refrigerated, so I had to stuff the fridge full. Thanks, Fred. Alright, we were backing up. That's what we were doing. We're gonna get this RailDriver synced back up. A little fast there. For as expensive as this RailDriver is, you'd think it would be a better piece of hardware. It's not bad. It's just not great. Somewhere back there is some tanker cars. Yeah, no worries, Fred. Most of the people out there are lurking. It's all good. Top out. There they are. Oh, stopped just too soon. You kidding me? So close. Alright, handbrakes are released. Thought I was gonna nail that. Stop just short. Close you up. I think there's a shortcut key. If you don't want to do all this, you can just hit a key and it'll set all the ankle cocks the way they should be. Stuff like that. But I enjoy the running around playing conductor as well. Alright, you are open. Partially open. Keep an eye on the flow. Let's see, we're in neutral. Let's get the old air pump rocking. Go below 100. Yep, handbrake is released. Cool. Flow's coming down. Back in the cab. Now we need to pull this out, run around it. And get it tacked onto the end. And we should have enough room. We can pull that other cut out. And then just shove the whole thing over to Bakersfield. Those guys put back. He's chugging along. He's headed out. That up so he can go on through. Didn't hit the brakes soon enough. Still getting used to that. Then we need to come all the way back down here. And hope that fits in the siding. I think it will. Bring her on back. Come on. Uh-oh. Hit the brakes! Huh. Didn't seem to have much braking power on that cut for some reason. Did I mess something up? I think we're going to have enough room. May need to come on back a little more. That ought to do it. Get a couple handbrakes on here. Hold that in place. Whoa, easy. If you're just tuning in, I'm having some issues with the view. If I move it very far, it flips out. Like that. So I have to move it in little increments. Let's see, I think I need to be on this side of the train, so come back here. Guess I'm gonna need to throw that switch back there too. What? Can't hear you. It's a train, it's loud. So we'll hook up to this cut, I need to run down there and throw that switch. And shove it on up. Pull the last cut out, and then we'll just shove everything to Bakersfield. There we go. Nice hard couple. Should still have air in this cut. Let's see, is this open? Nope. Yeah, still got good air in there, so let that pump up. That switch, and then I forgot, let's buzz back here to this side. I like to leave the switches set normal. Good habit to get into. Alright, and then end of train down to here. And hop on. Shove forward. We need to flip this back. Oh, we're not there yet. Back on the train like magic. Turn my phone off. Turn down. Don't text and drive trains. Wifey checking to make sure I got the groceries. All over it, wife. Let's see, I need to throw that switch up there, so we need to get stopped. Then you're already lined up for that cut. So we need to pull that cut out and then shove everything up to there and head to Bakersfield. The cat's lonely. I don't know if you can hear her in the background. I'm in here, kitty cat. You want to come and say hi to Twitch? Better grab the ladder. Boink. There we go. Nailed it. I could just EOT view down to this end of the train. Kind of fun running back and forth. For me, that's part of the fun. Just run around doing all the little things you got to do. Oh, it's already closed. Oh, did I already move this cut? Huh. Kind of lost track. Oh well, that's closed, so that's good. That's what we want. Now I need to find which tank car on the front here. This one? You guys are open. I think it would have been that one. That's too close. This one down here? No. One of these is going to have a closed angle cock. No? Oh, they're right. That's the switch. I was looking at the wrong switch. It's going to be way back here. No? What? Where's my train? There it is. Found it. You guys are both closed. Alright, so open you. Partially open you. Yeah, it's already got air. So if the flow is low, we can open that all the way up. Let that get pumped full. Then we need to drag this whole cut back. Past this switch. release all the handbrakes. Then hope we have enough horsepower per ton to move all these loaded tank cars over to Bakersfield. It's pretty flat, so I think we're going to be good. But I didn't check the weight or the horsepower required. Initial brake application. We have quite a bit of tonnage on the move here. Nice. Touched that one fairly well. Then should be, yeah, we're all lined up to head over there. Let's hop on the car. Shove on down the line. Kind of just naturally slowing down. I think we can just not touch anything and we'll couple up. We'll see if that theory plays out. Nailed it. Alright, when you get down on the ground, when you up and partially open, should still have air bottled up in here. Cool, I can hear it flowing. Or train brakes releasing towards the right there. Get that all the way open. Make sure all the hand brakes are off. And then I'm going to hit EOT. So we've got a long line of tank cars. We got a little more sitting over here on the other side of the road. Those guys should be good. That switch is good. We can just shove it on out over there. Oops. Come on, attach. There you go. Just tuning in. I've got some kind of weird bug where if I move the mouse too much, it does that. It's all confused. So if you're a Run 8 vet and you've run across that before, and you know a solution, my patience would much appreciate. Speaking up. Train's so long I can barely hear the train horn now. Just shove across the road, hook onto the cut there. And then we'll be shoving for Bakersfield Yard, which is just up and around the bend and down that way. They can't hear me, but I'm going to blow the horn anyway. If there's anybody coming. They'll stop. Gates are down. Alright, initial brake application. I'm very rusty at moving loaded terrains. As you can tell, because I slowed down way too early. I'm just going to ease back into it. Two or 3 mile an hour, perfect for coupling. Nailed it. Alright, make sure all handbrakes are off. Surprised that's open. Did I forget to close that? Better go check this into the train. Make sure I'm not just dumping air out. I am blocking that intersection. Need to get off of that. Uh-oh. How were you open? Were you open the whole time when I shoved you up here? I thought for sure I checked each one of these. Oops. Well, hopefully we didn't trip the emergency. I'll pump air here for a bit. We're blocking that intersection, so we need to get moving. See anything from here. I ride on the boxcar. See a little better. The switch down there somewhere I need to make sure we align. A lot of weight on the move, but these two engines seem to be handling it all right. Let's hop in the fast view. Yeah, this switch. That's the one I want to make sure. No, I guess it's a little stub in. Never mind. It's supposed to be that direction. So it's normal is reverse. Cool. Okay, now we're on the front of the train. We can't whistle because nobody can hear us. I think it's pretty much a straight shot until we're going to go around a curve, and then we'll need to stop and make sure the main is clear before we push on into Bakersfield. It's an interesting place to park a police car. See, is our speed restriction? Yeah, it's still 15. Oh, we're 2.3 horsepower per ton. We're good. Let's see, is this switch list? Nope, I don't know what that does. I used to have that do switch list. Do-do-do-do. Huh. I did something wrong. I forgot a caboose. There's a caboose back there? I didn't see a caboose. There's a caboose on the switch list. Oh, is it considered that the caboose? Oh, it wants that buffer car on the end. Oops. Oh well. Probably wanted me to use all that power, but I didn't see any need to use in 6 engines. Oh well. I'm just playing, having fun. I'm gonna mess stuff up. So we need to make sure this switch is set. We want to go left to Bakersfield. Comes our train. Way down the bend. I don't know what it looks like on Twitch with the compression, but there's a train coming. It's right there. Oh, we're speeding a little bit. Just found a backpack and a rifle. You're set, man. That's the dream. Got a bit of a downhill. We're going to have to get a light brake application going. There it goes, finally. The real question is, did you find any bullets for the rifle? Although Scum does have a pretty good butt stroke. You can butt stroke the puppets right in the face. Middle mouse button. Works pretty well. Oh yeah, the 22 is great for unarmored puppets. Works fine. Alright, we're heading around the bend. Whoa! Slow down a bit, just because I'm not used to handling terrain with a bunch of weight. I'm not sure my RailDriver brake handle is calibrated quite right. I have to get to like a... I guess it was a 5-pound reduction. Maybe that's the minimum. So we're going to come around this curve. Come on. Slow train a-coming. Yeah, I'm not really a Bob Dylan connoisseur, but I'll take your word for it. Here we go. Get a nice sweeping view. Coming around the bend. There's the engines way over there. So we shouldn't have... We're here. We're in this circle. Like, this isn't to scale. Everything we're doing is right where this circle is, this block. So we don't have anybody coming. So we're good. It's like I got some dispatch stuff we need to sort out. The trains are waiting. Oh, we're going way too fast. Pay attention to what you're doing. Put 10 pounds on it. See how that does. Speed's coming down. We might need a little more. Let's go for 15 pounds. There we go. Now she's halting. That's awesome. Add permitted term, blonde on blonde. Dang it, Fred. Yeah, it's all good. All right, nobody's coming. Let's get the switch opened up and get out on the main. Oh yeah, you have to be on the ground. Throw switches. Oh, that was already thrown? Oh. Okay. We didn't have to stop. Hey, that's kind of strange. I thought that was the main line through here. Yeah, this is where they originate, down there. Whoa! You're set straight through. Okay, I don't know why that was set that way. We're good. We can get back on the move. Dang it, computer. It's not the game. It's something with my new computer. It doesn't like the moving the view. It never did this on my old computer. Get back on the move. The engine side of the train's moving. Sort of. There it goes. Making sure we weren't pulling too many amps. Now we're good. Are we still restricted on speed? All right. Yep. We're speeding. Don't tell anybody. You want to become famous? Follow Kerbo. Okay. What's up, Uncle Hendry? I got going a little too good. We gotta slow back down. We headed downhill? We get some dynamic brake action going here. Yeah, we're in setup. Wow, it must be quite a downhill drift into Bakersfield. I have to use... Is that 200 amps? 300 amps worth of dynamic brake. Now we can ease off a bit. You're famous? Sweet. Sorry, wifey's texting me. She can't leave me alone. Go back to minimum on the dynamics. See how we do. We're holding it about 13 and a half. And you get it up in the air and see where we're going. Flying blind. Blowing through red signals. Now the signal's red because we're in the block. We got a, it's approach. So we need to come in. We had to be on that left-hand track. Would make the most sense. Yep, coming on the left-hand track. Then we'll cut over. Ah, come on, view. Just throw me a bone here. More dynamic on because we're speeding up. We need to throw that switch. What happened to Delta? As far as I know, he's just been working a lot. He's pretty active on Instagram, if you follow him on Instagram. He's always posting pictures from the port. Other than that, I don't know of anything going on. I think he's just working a lot. Wait, no, not that switch. Dang, it needs more dynamic. This is a bit of a hill. So we'll bring it in on this track. It looks nice and clear. Actually, should we come down through here?
Dad, nobody told you people not to sub. I mean, thank you.
Should be room on that track, I think. Yeah, should be room on that track. All right, we'll just bring her straight on in. Dang it, Fred. You gotta listen. I don't drink beer, but thanks. I appreciate the sentiment. Like I tell everybody, don't sub to me. I just got affiliate so I could have my own emotes because I'm a selfish bastard. I just do this for fun. I've got a good career. Go support people who are trying to do this for a living. But thanks for not listening, Fred. That'll go towards the Steam giveaway in the future. Every once in a while I do a Steam gift card giveaway. Because you people don't listen to me. Alright, I need to get on this left-hand track, which means I need this switch. This is a dispatch-controlled switch. So if you're near a switch and you go to the dispatch screen, it'll blink purple. So we need this one. That thrown right now? No, now it's the wrong way. Good job. Good job, dispatch. We did need that normal. That'll come on in. Where's this switch? Oh, it's way down the line. Sorry, I muted the stream. Alright, we're slowed down too much. I was concentrating on getting the switches lined up. Alright, let's come out of dynamic brake. There we go. Dynamic brake's off. Excuse me, get a couple notches of throttle back in. Before we come completely to a stop. There's a key for sticking your head out the window. Is it cab view? No, engineer something. Engineer view, head out. Right alt down. The keys are so intuitive. Engineer view is left control F11. Engineer view, head out is right alt down. Yeah. Okay. So that looks backwards. It's all good, Fred. I just use that as a cheers. It's a good cheers emote. I never really liked beer. I'll have one once in a while, you know, just to be social if I'm out with people, but I don't drink it on purpose. I can enjoy a good strong, like a Guinness, fresh port Guinness, but that's about it. I just don't really drink in general. Just don't really have a taste for it. Now we're speeding again. Not doing a very good job with the speed control. Go back to the eye in the sky here. Heading into that switch. I drink mostly water. I'm boring. I'm constantly drinking water. I just took a drink. Pretty good sized train. I don't know how many cars we've got. My switch list tell me? Nope. So this would have been full of all those cars that I picked up, but I forgot the other buffer car it wanted. Oh well. Where is it? Alt F8? Oop, Shift F8? Oop, Control F8? There we go. Rail car tags, destination. Where are these headed? NCC. I don't know what NCC is. Oh, I think I looked that up and it's in Wyoming. So these need to go east. I need to throw them on an AI train to the east, out of Bakersfield. Then they'll just disappear off the railroad. Then I've got a bunch of empties over here at Bakersfield that need to go back to Tricor. We'll do that sometime probably. Maybe, I don't know. I just had an itch to play some Run 8. It's not a fast-paced game. It takes so much time if you're going to actually railroad. Because Run 8 is real scale, 1-to-1. So just this little section of SoCal that I have is the default set of train routes. It takes like 4.5 hours or something if you want to take a train from end to end. 6 hours, something crazy like that. So it is real scale. Now this track here is long enough. I could run around it here if I wanted to, but we'll just shove it on into the yard. Back to ground view. And if I time it just right, wink, and hop on the car. Maintain 3-point contact at all times. Remember, safety first. I thought it was safety last. It's a good, I think it was a TED Talk by Mike Rowe. Safety last. Go look it up. It's a good talk. Or no, safety third. I think his thing is safety third. Not safety last. Slowing down a little bit. It's just a constant juggle between throttle and brake. Keep it around 15. The track kind of undulates. Here it looks like it's heading... It's either heading back uphill or it's leveling off. One of the two. I have to add throttle, so it's probably heading uphill. Yeah, micro. I think it's called safety third. If you search for it on YouTube, you'll probably find it. Or just micro safety. I was thinking it was a TED Talk, but it was some kind of talk he's given. It might have been part of the Learning from Dirty Jobs TED Talk. I thought it was a separate one. Could be wrong. That's a great one. That's a great... Anything Micro has ever said, just go watch it. The guy's so full of common sense it hurts. Safety third. Okay, there you go. Yeah, they're both worth a watch if you haven't seen them. He's an excellent communicator. Even if you don't agree with everything he says, he's got a good way of presenting it. Good stuff to think about. That's right, folks. You can have different opinions, and it's okay. I know that might be a shock to some people. Yeah, that was a hill, because I'm at notch 3, and there we go, notch 4. Yeah, about notch 3 to hold it. I'm canceled now, clutch. That's right. Everybody left. Expect your sub money back. Can I even do that? Like, is that a thing? Can you go refund somebody's sub? That's the thing, I'm refunding everybody's sub. Need to go find that button. Yeah, Twitch wouldn't want you to give away their money. There's probably not a button for that. Can't have different Opions. I'm gonna have my Opion and you have your Opion, clutch. And we're just gonna have to get along. Alright, we're almost to the yard. We're getting there. Wait, what's this billboard? When it's all too much, just say, damn it all. 24-hour protection from caring. Sweet. You need to get us some of that, chat. It's F8 for screenshot. That's awesome. A little tongue-in-cheek poke at the drug companies. "10 miles an hour? Who's driving this train? Going too slow." There we go. Head back up towards 13. Now, I was saying earlier that Run 8 is just a big sandbox. There is a handful of scenarios that it comes with. And if you're kind of interested in what that's all about, go check my YouTube. Search Run 8 on my YouTube channel. I did, I think it was a 3, maybe 4-part series on the Edison Local, which is one of the scenarios where you just work a local. It's got like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 industries you have to go drop off and pick up. So that'll give you an example of what you can do in Run 8. But most of what you do in Run 8, you have to just make up yourself. You just make up whatever you're doing. And I haven't really found... I would think that people would like make scenarios and put them out there for people, but I haven't really found any repository of such a thing. If I got the switches lined up right, we should just pull right into the yard and be good. Oh, it's all from the same talk thread? Okay. Let's watch it twice. Slow down. Going too fast. Railroad police is going to be after me. No, we're slowing back down. We're good. There's a good example of Run 8 Railroad. So if you don't own the actual like skins or stuff, it's all just Run 8 Western, a generic livery. So I've bought several car packs so they look correct. I think I bought some locomotive packs too. It's kind of cool. You don't have to buy the cars, but if you don't have the car pack, then it'll be a generic boxcar and it'll be the correct length and the correct like weight. It'll just look like a generic boxcar. But as far as the simulation goes, it's all the same. It's just aesthetics is all you're buying. Alright, we're going to wiggle through this switch here. And then head on up into the yard. Easy there, view. There's some Z fighting with the textures. It's just a thing the engine does. So you get some flickering. We're going to go through here, and then that switch we're going to turn. Oh, sorry, that switch we're going to turn. We're going to go up to the yard and be on that outermost track there. So we're down to about 10. We'll probably keep it about 10 since we're going through so many switches. I can feel those bumps through the subwoofer. Pretty neat. Lost some speed just from the friction of going through all those turns. Alright, I'm gonna hop off about here and we'll just watch the train come in. Seemed like I didn't run through the train. I get turned around without flipping out the view. There we go. Beauteous. Quite a train we assembled. There's the engines. They're coming. I guess I should check. I assumed I had enough room here. Maybe we ought to go take a peek. Before I shove this out the other end of the yard. Oh, does it join up with this one? Ruh-roh. Nah, we should have room. We need to stop, like, here. Yeah, we should have room. I should have saved that position I was at. Forgot that was a thing. Alright, back on the ground. Is it Control 1? Shift 1? Position save, there we go. Hop on the end here. I think we're going to be okay. If I can get my view right. Ground view. Nope. Shift 2. There we go. Then I can just go and I'm back at my other view. I think it's got like 9 slots or 8 slots. Control and Shift number keys. You can save views. It's handy when you're being both engineer and conductor at the same time. So we've got another like 12 car lengths or so. Yeah, we should fit, I think. Chances are good. Ooh, Denny's. That sounds really good. That's because it's 1:20 and I haven't had lunch. Denny's. Anyway, back to trains. Yeah, we're up slight hill, so it's going to coast to a stop. We'll probably have to help it a little bit. £10 reduction on. Slide to a halt. Alright, back over to the loud zone. Are we on? We're going to cut the engines off. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect, like a glove. We nailed it, chat. So we want this guy closed, and we're going to leave this one open so it'll just blow the air out when we detach from it. Stuffs toilet tissues in his ears. Yeah, sorry, it's a little loud. It's a train. But this is yellow, so what that means is this coupler is stretched tight, so it's too tight to pull the pin out. If I try to click that, it says, too much stretch force on the coupler, cannot release coupler pin. So I'm gonna have to ease the engine forward a little bit. Just take up the slack in it there. Now we can uncouple. That's going to blow all that air out of the train, so it should just sit there. That's the theory. But just in case, I'm going to set all the handbrakes. Now, we need to stick this power somewhere. I'm not familiar with this yard. Dang it, view. Oh, there's the refuel station. We'll just head down there. We're gonna head back through this switch. Whoa. Where are my rear headlights working? You set up right? You're not. That's why the headlights aren't working. Alright, set you back to normal. Run like the wind. Game. Not now. It's you normal. Actually, is that where power's parked? That might be right where we need to go. Yeah, alright, we'll just pull in there with those. So, back to the engineer view. Except for backwards. So we're going to stick our head out the window. Still can't see a whole lot. Should be heading into that track with that other power, though. Perfect. And we'll just use the same power when we go take the empties down to Tricor. Can't tell how close I am, though. We're clear of the switch, though. We'll just stop here. And let's see. Parking brake is on. Headlights are off. You guys all off. I don't think this... Do the switch, but I don't think we can shut it down from in here. Some of the locos you can, some you can't. Doesn't look like this one you can. I think you would hold that in to turn it off. So we just have to do it from the menu here. Let's shut him down. He's all good. And then shut you all down. There's no shutdown sound either, it just quits. I'll leave it tagged as that because I think that's the same local that takes those cars down there. Let me double check. Exported the car report. Yeah, LS913J. What we came up here with, and I think we go find that cut of cars. Let's see, free fly mode. This cut right here. Or is that the one I just pulled in here? The view keeps flipping around, and I lose track of where I'm at. That's one I just pulled in here. Am I in the right yard? I think I'm in the wrong yard. I don't really know what I'm doing. I think I pointed it out at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, here's the cut that goes down there. These are all the empties, and they are... I can never remember the key combo. There we are. Try. They don't have a local assigned to them. The way to do that... I need to relinquish my train. There we go. Tagger. Pretty sure there's a way to do all of these. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to look into that. Anyway, if we get those tagged correctly, then I would have it would make the switch list work for me. You can tell what you're supposed to pick up, and set out, all that good stuff. All right, now we're not in control of any kind of terrain. So where did I drop off those cars? It's a great question. Why does that say it has cars in it? Why that would be occupied. I'm going to throw this switch though, because if I spawn an AI down there, it's going to get confused. Won't be able to go past that switch. Oh, it's because the switch was thrown. That's why. I had a suspicion. So then this says the north track is occupied. Because of that switch? Do I have a hand-thrown switch here somewhere? This is where we came through. Ah. Yep, I need to reset this switch. Now we're clear. Except I missed a signal telling that guy he could go through. Now he's going to get moving. This is an AI train. So if you want to, you can actually just play this as a dispatcher too. It has a system that will set up. It's super complex, but you can set up so it'll spawn trains. If you have all your industries configured, You can have it spawn trains with cars for industries on your line. It's way more complex than I even know how to use. Hey, we'll watch this roll out and then I'm going to grab some lunch. My stomach... Woo! My stomach thinks my throat's been cut. Oops, get that turned off. She's loud and proud. Big old container train. Love this game. Took a long time to figure out the locals because you're British. Oh, hey. Is it Violki? Did I say that right? Yeah, it was a little different over here in the States, from what I understand. I don't know much about British railways, but I watch Squirrel on YouTube quite a bit, so I've seen some from his perspective. That'll do? Alright. Yeah, Run 8's a ton of fun. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I still have some fun with it. I'd kind of like to get to where I know one of the locals pretty well, and then I could kind of know where I'm at on the line and stuff like that. This is a long one. Yeah, that's my main thing too, Violki, is just figuring out where the heck I am. Because the dispatch screen, you know, it's not one-to-one scale, it's just blocks. So everything we did and all the industry switching was in this block right here. And then we came over to this yard. I thought I was coming over here to Bakersfield, but I got confused. So we're in this yard right here. I think that's where we ended up. That's okay. I can throw some AI power on that. I just need to send those cars east off of the railroad, so we should be able to do that from where they're sitting. So I've been kind of concentrating on what we were doing today was Tricor. It's a petroleum plant that's in this block here. So that's toward Fresno. We need to send stuff this way and it'll go over... I don't know technically where it should go. I'm gonna have to look it up. I think they need to go to Wyoming, so I don't know where off the railroad they need to go. It doesn't really help too much if you're from the US. Because it's all still confusing. I don't know Southern California. I couldn't tell you where Fresno is. Or Barstow or any of those places. US is a big place. But as far as like the signals and the roads and stuff, those all make sense. Rail network was nationalized and called British Rail. We're getting there. Leaves on the line or the wrong type of snow? Okay. Alright, here comes the pushers. Whoa! View. I gotta figure out why it does that. It's very crappy of it. Don't like it. But anyway, folks, thanks for lurking. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go get some lunch. Might be back later this afternoon. We'll kind of see. I'm not sure exactly when the wife and kiddos are going to be back home. Y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And hope to see you back here again some other day. Bye-bye.
Dad, never told you people not to sub. I mean, thank you.
I saw that.